What's going on, YouTube? This is Mark with Waist Deep Wade Fishing, Southwest Florida. Just want to say hello and good evening to everybody that's out there. I want to send a shout out and thank everybody who has subscribed, who's listening to the show and watching the videos and sharing the videos and you know, spreading the love and being a part of the Waist Deep family here. Everything is starting to come together. I just want to thank everybody for that. So today's topic that we're going to discuss is redfish. Redfish. And I want to talk about how to catch redfish like a pro and give you, basically a cheat sheet to success. I've developed through the years different techniques to find them, and that's what our main focus is going to be today: finding redfish. Oh, and by the way, I'm feeling a little patriotic today, so I've got my red, white, and blue blanket out because I'm doing this video outside on the lanai and it's freezing. So what I want to do is go into the first topic. And it's basically, how to catch redfish. I didn't grow up in Florida, so everything that I'm talking about right here was learned from trial and error. No one really taught me this. I had one buddy that I came up with. He used bait. I never liked using bait. I came from up north, so I constantly threw plugs and jigs and every other type of lure you possibly could for bluefish, striped bass. So when I moved down to Florida, 20 years ago, I had to learn everything on my own. So it's like a father passing down information to his son. And that's what I'm trying to do here. Give everyone an opportunity to learn what I've learned. Give an opportunity to make new friends on the water, and be a brethren to the salt life. So, when I first caught my redfish, I was blown away how hard they fight. I mean, these fish, pound for pound, in shallow water between 2 foot and 5 feet, pull harder than any other fish that I have ever won against, pound for pound, in that type of water. And to fight them in that type of shallow water is just, there's an old saying, the tug is the drug, and that's for sure. Because the first time I hooked one, there was nothing else like it. Although sea trout fishing is my passion, because I hunt trophy trout, but I love to catch redfish. Okay, so I've designed, a couple of, basically, it's a cheat sheet on how to locate these big fish. This is something that everyone can use. And, I'm not that guy out there charging people, buy my book or pay me this fee to download a PDF. I'm putting it out there because it should be out there. You know what I mean? If you're a fisherman, you shouldn't have to pay someone to learn to fish. Yes, you can pay a guide to take you out to show you what to do, and that's a different ball game. But to go online and have to pay for this and pay for that, listen, I'm putting it out there because it should be out there. And I believe, as being a part of the brotherhood of Wade fishermen, that everyone should need to know this. So that's why I'm doing it. Now, to be consistent in catching redfish, it all comes down to it's numbers. It's a numbers game. The fisherman who puts himself or herself in front of the most redfish, well, is going to catch the most redfish consistently. It's that simple. The question is, where are they? How do I find them? I don't know where they live. I don't know what they do. Well, that's what this video is about. I'm going to teach you what to look for and how to locate these fish. Fortunately, redfish, they're highly predictable. Okay? So it can be relatively easy. It's an easy problem to solve. They're not that hard to find, but you have to know the starters. You have to know what to look for, okay? And simplify it. And you have to start thinking like the redfish. Think about where these fish would be. Okay? Redfish generally, there's two things on their mind. Where am I going to find food? And how do I not get eaten by a dolphin or a shark? Okay? And those are the two things they think about. And then third, you know, when they're on their run, then they're looking to find a female. Now, I know it's safe to, it's pretty safe to say that redfish will spend a lot of their time around structure. Okay? Now, when I say structure, I'm not talking about docks. Okay? I'm talking about structure itself. I'm talking about a grass flat. I'm talking about a sand. I'm talking about a pothole, a sand pothole. I'm talking about a point. I'm talking about a mangrove line. I'm talking about mangrove roots. I'm talking about ledges. I'm talking about a piece of wood in the water. Okay, that's anchored in, and that's anything like that is structure. So when you know, knowing that they like structure and why they hang around the structure, well, it provides a consistent food. That structure gives them shrimp, it gives them bait fish, crabs, etc. Okay, and it also offers protection in case they've got to dip and jump and jive to get away from a dolphin or a shark. That structure gives them protection and gives them safety, and that's why they're there. So when targeting the redfish, it's pretty smart to assume that if you're out there, you should focus the time, in areas around good structure, in the water. Now here's just a couple of examples of it. You've got docks, you've got mangrove roots, you've got oyster bars, my favorite, shallow water grass flats. Those are the ones I hit. Rocks and jetties. Now, I don't do a lot of rock and jetty fishing. There's not too much of that on the West Coast, a lot of it on the East Coast. But there are some rock jetties out, and I have fished them, and I have picked up some redfish. But the majority of the redfish that I pick up, the solid redfish, well, you know what I'm going to say. Grass flats. Get to the grass flats, because that's where they are. So, by knowing that, when looking for spots with feeding redfish, look for the areas that have good structure as well as a healthy supply of bait. Okay? Redfish are going to hold in these areas throughout the year because it addresses the two concerns: finding food and protection from the predators. Okay? Those are the two main things. The next thing you need to find out, okay? Well, the next thing you need to do, for sure, is using proper equipment. A common mistake that anglers who are targeting redfish make a mistake of using medium to heavy rods, 30, 40 pound test, big, huge lures with monster hooks. As they're thinking, oh, this 20-pound red, I'm gonna have to, pull on them and use all this. Listen, all that big equipment is a waste of money, and they're gonna know that you're using it. Okay, you have to have finesse. You have to be like a sniper. You got to be quiet. You got to not let them know that you're there. So for an example, it's not practical to use a 20-pound leader on a rod spooled with 10-pound line to fish from an inlet. Okay, you use a 20-pound. I use a 10-pound braid and a 20-pound leader when I'm fishing the grass flats, because there's not too many things to get broken off on. The only thing that you have to really worry about is oyster bars. If you go into the rock jetties, well, then I would suggest going with 40-pound braid and possibly 25 to 30-pound leader. Given that the mouths of redfish, they're not very tough, okay? Using a very heavy leader, it's not needed. Just get yourself some decent hooks that are sharp. They have a rubbery mouth, so as soon as you set that hook, that barb goes through, that fish isn't going to come out. Match the gear the situation. Match your gear to the situation that you're in. Okay. I would say for open grass flats and oyster bars, with slow current, I would go 10-pound, 10-pound braid, 20-pound leader. Docks and mangroves, 10-pound, 20-pound braid to 30-pound leader. fast moving current, heavy structure, 30-pound braid, 40-pound to 60-pound leader. You know, and I really don't fish that kind of heavy current, heavy water. But for the guys that do, that's just a little something out there. You know, rod and reel combos, I showed you the best. I mean, there's tons out there. I'm not going to name names, but you know, you got G Loomis, you got St. Croix, you've got Shimano, you've got, you know, 13 Fishing. You've got tons of them out there. I use a St. Croix Avid Inshore medium, 7-foot fast action tip. Okay, with a 3000 Shimano 3000 CI4 Plus, and that, hands down, my favorite rod in the world. A little expensive, it's over 450 bucks, worth every penny. So, for maximizing, you know, the redfish, the results, you know, just match your equipment to the type of fishing that you're doing. If you're inshore, I gave you everything you need, you know. Also, consider the type of water that you're going to be fishing to. You know, is it going to be clear water? Is it going to be muddy water? You're going to be doing a lot of casting, so make sure you got yourself some good line. Okay, clean your rod and reel. Every time you're done with a fishing trip, come home and douse it with water and wipe it down. Keep your gear working in tip-top shape, and you will be happy with the results. Because remember, you're going to be casting long and you're going to be reeling a lot. Okay? So, the next thing that I want to get to, lures. The best lures I can say, okay, in 3 feet or less of water are going to be, you know, soft plastics, jerk baits, suspending lures that suspend between 1 and 2 foot in the water column. You know, weedless spoons, preferably gold. That's the one thing I'm going to say. Do not throw silver spoons. Redfish don't eat them. You want to use gold. You can use green, you can use gold, and I've even seen them on white, but just stay away from the silver. The trout will go after the silver. The redfish will not so much. Now, if you're in deeper water, over 3 feet, you know, swimming plugs, sinking plugs, and definitely, you know, soft plastics on weighted jigs. You know, when I'm out there, that's my favorite. I love to put on a 1/4 ounce chartreuse jig head and a 3-inch paddle tail. That's my thing. And I've had the majority of my success has been using the jig with the soft plastic. So, you know, knowing all this, okay, and you don't need fancy boats, and you don't need $2,000 equipment. Okay, just learn to assess the area for feeding redfish. Use the proper equipment. You know, don't put too much thinking into it. Go out, have a good time. If you follow the description that I gave you and you look for those things on the open water, okay, on the open flat, just remember current, structure, bait. Okay, current, structure, bait. Those 3. Always keep an eye out for oyster bars. If you're hunting redfish, look for the oyster bars. 9 out of 10 times you find an oyster bar, the tide is low. As that tide pushes in, those redfish will come to that oyster bar because it's a free meal and it's structure, and they can use it to get away from predators. So, I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to get out here and feed the world full of my knowledge. My name is Mark. I'm with Waist Deep Wade Fishing, Southwest Florida. If you like what you heard, if you like what you see, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on the bottom. Make sure when you hit it, it turns gray. Okay, then move over to the notification bell. When you hit the notification bell, there's going to be another pop-up that says enabled or disabled. Hit the enabled button. This way you'll be notified for the future videos that are going to be coming out. As soon as I put one out, you'll get a quick email stating that I have a new video out for you to watch. So till then, again, my name is Mark. One love. Can't wait to see everybody out on the water. And you know what? There's just one more thing. Go get yourself a yellowmouth. You have a great one. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.